Alright guys, we are starting literally toward the second half of the bottle, so we got at least one more glass. One big glass, right? Small one here. I've had it's probably at least my third cup of coffee. I'm almost done. I did have breakfast, you know. And I feel the need to walk and talk, and I already kind of know what I'm going to talk about. It's going to be one of the weirdest, full circle conversations that you've probably heard. You'll probably be like, man, that guy's fucking crazy. And you're like, yeah, I totally am. And, certifiably, right? I'm red flag law because I'm too out there. Not because I'm violent or have anger issues and threaten people or anything like that or do weird stuff, just because I don't go to bed on time and I'm creative, you know? So, let's walk and talk. And again, this is gonna be a really weird video. I'm totally gonna have to upload it on Rumble and YouTube. It's all at me. I'm not gonna call anybody mean names this time, so let's just see how it works. So if y'all want to know my theory of reality in life, I'd love to tell you. And if you're listening to this video, you're gonna get it. If you're not, you have no fucking clue what I'm saying right now. So, screw you anyway. Alright, I guess in a nutshell, I'll just put the TLDR at the beginning. Too long, didn't read. I definitely think we are in simulation. Now, who built it? I don't know. God. Jehovah, Yahweh. That name is the first name that God gave himself. I think it was to Moses or somebody. Abraham, maybe, I don't know. Look it up. Anyway, so that name means the creator. In Masonry, Freemasonry, grand architect of the universe. An architect. Maybe it's just one branch of Masonry. I don't know. It may not be all of them. Grand architect of the universe. The Matrix movie, you have the architect. You have the man in the cloud. Cloud may be a cloud. Cloud may be a computer. Cloud may be a server room, monitor room, whatever. Security room. The cloud. So you have the man in the cloud. And then you have... and we'll get to a stopping point for a second. Just to make it easier. Let's sit down. Yeah, okay. Maybe I didn't spill too much of the wine. Alright, grand architect of the universe. God, Jehovah, the creator. Literally, Jehovah, Yahweh, the creator is what it supposedly says. What it means, first name of God, only name, I guess. First, true name. Whoever built this place. Now, this place we're in. To get down to it, man, I'm pretty sure we're in a reality that's confined in some sense to a limited, just like a video game, right? There's most video games you have out of bounds, whether the developers did not make that part of the game and they put a wall. The wall might be visible or invisible, whatever. Can't go past it. Some of the games you just fall off it, just fall into nothing, and then you die, and then it restarts. Fall off the edge of the world type of stuff. So I think that's totally here, but we have a dome or some sort of encapsulating thing. We're inside of something, right? It's a learning environment. Where it gets super deep is it's definitely a hologram-ish thing, holographic universe. There are documents. See, I spent a ton of money researching and everything, and probably other people do, about what are we in, and how does it work, and how can we manipulate it and control it and make it to our advantage, use it to our advantage, type of stuff. Now, imagine being in a big hologram game bubble thing controlled by an architect. That's something that's much more powerful than us. And then there's probably things in between intermediaries that drop down in from that talk to God and say, I'm gonna go there, with God. God's gonna be like, hey, you need to go there. He's like, okay, he or she, whatever. That angels, beings, entities, all different types that drop into our little bubble dome thing, whatever it may be. Fish tank, however you want to describe what we're in, but it's probably confined, right? The reason I say that is I don't really think that we went to the moon. I don't really think that we can get out of this place. I'm pretty sure we're in a damn fish tank. There's a lot of evidence to prove that, to support the fact that we have not left this plane of existence. In a sense, there may be stuff out there we can see through the glass, let's say, but maybe we can't get to it. With modern day pushing ourselves, so you'd have to get out of our space-time dimension to get out of the fish tank, and then you could probably pop back in on the other side of the glass if you want, probably. But that's a whole different thing than just pushing yourself into the glass and smashing into it like a bird on a window. It's not going to end well. Okay, you need to like go through a sewer pipe or plumbing pipe or open the window or something and get to the outside, then reappear. Okay. Now that went out. I guess that's good. Time for wine. Chianti. Now, I would say the next thing that's important to know is the world we're in is natural, but I believe digital, right? So it's God's version of digital, which is natural to us. Now we're trying to build our own world of our natural in a digital way, which we are not gods and is probably not going to work out well for us. Maybe we can create some weird ass beings in a fucking computer that don't know that they're in a fucking computerish thing. Maybe. That it might work out well for them because they don't know any better. But for us, trying to do it for us, I don't know. It doesn't sound right. Because we're in our own little thing. I don't get, I mean, maybe, right? We could discuss anything you guys want to talk about, right? So we'll move on from that. Now, in addition to most likely being in a confined cage that also gives special properties of light and wave to particle collapse, where, let's get a nice slow motion on that. Yeah. Wave to particle collapse. Okay, so you have infinite waves. A wave is non-crystalline in a sense. It's not solid. It's everything at once. Think quantum physics. That's probably not going to help you, but think of a liquid versus an ice cube, right? When water's a liquid, it's going to take the shape of any container anywhere, whatever container you put it in. When it's a fucking ice cube, it's just going to roll around the container in that same shape. That's the difference between a wave and a particle, right? So when you have our universe, which is a light hologram wave, as a wave, it takes any shape. It's infinite. It can be anything. That's what I'm saying. So there are infinite pasts. There are infinite futures. There's also infinite presents. But our soul, our light wave frequency, blah, 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 is in one point in space-time, in frequency, in a single point in the present, right? But there's infinite pasts of us, infinite futures of us, and infinite versions of us. And you can essentially jump from timeline, dimension, frequency, I believe, over time. So we're linear, but with doing the right things, abiding by God's rules, helping others, abiding by the commandments, and whatever it may be, to essentially be a good person and not like annihilate each other and destroy the planet and everything else, and to be good to each other, right? Those are the things that I believe we're sent here for. And let me pick this up. Let's go for a little more walk. Can't forget the wine, right? All right. All right, so we're sent here for that stuff, right? We're a little light being coming here. They're manipulatable forces here. They're interdimensional beings between us and God, right? Maybe, and I believe we create our own world. And a lot about the way to do that, I think, is by having creativity, new ideas, building the world around you. So think about the most important people on earth right now, right? Or not most important, but the most well-known actors and business moguls and just important politicians that did cool things and stuff like that, right? So those type of people, in my opinion, did not follow the crowd. They did something different. At some point along the line, they did either one thing different or a million things different or whatever. And they became unique and did their own thing, went their own way, whatever it may be. Hopefully didn't hurt anybody along the way. And they became their own, entity, which the Matrix, whatever we're in, liked, God, whatever. And they became, unique in their own reality. Stuck around people that a lot of people may have followed the crowd and did not become as unique as they could have been. And those people are more among the crowd, and you have less people among the people the crowd is looking at, right? Okay. So, now, believing in particle to wave theory and all that stuff, and also being a good person, karma and energy, all that stuff, that gives everybody the opportunity at any point in time, except that, unless we have time machines, to go to the past and change where you are now. You can't do that. But from this point on, this instant, you can essentially start being you and don't hurt anybody. Be a good person. And over time, the reality that you make, everything else adjusts to you. So, like, just as, I think it was Ford, I think he used the quote that they're quoting him, where it's like, if I had asked people, Henry, what they wanted, they would have said faster horses, and he ended up building a Model T. But I don't think he was known for cars. I don't think he invented the car. I think he invented, like, the assembly line was really good at that, so dissecting things. Oh, that's a whole nother point, right? So there is advantages in economies of scale, and obviously in using just advantage of resources, all this other type of stuff, right? But if it gets corrupted at some point, if what the corporation, when the corruption in the corporation is so well hidden or taken for granted or just whatever, that, because, like, if everybody knew all the bad stuff that corporations were doing, right? Just if it was public knowledge of all the dumping that ABC company does and XYZ and all the other ones and all the other crap that goes on, the most terrible stuff, those companies, well, two things would happen, right? The companies would change if people stopped buying their shit, or the people would be like, well, it's not that big of a deal and keep buying the shit or whatever, right? But once the stuff's exposed, I think Elon had a whole thing with the leaker and scrap metal or something, right? Which, I get it. It's waste or whatever it may be. And there's waste everywhere, and nobody knows about fucking all the waste except for the plant manager that's there, and the fucking, even if Elon goes to visit, he's probably not gonna, I don't know, he's gonna walk by the fucking recycle bins in the back, wherever the fucking, you know, there's no way to fucking know everything, right? And leaking bad press is also not good for shock stairs and all the fucking short sellers and all the other fucking shit going on, right? So I totally get that fucking, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just, if everybody knew, the relationship between, and actually blockchain may help this too. When you cut down the fucking rainforest in the Amazon and you tag that tree on the blockchain, and then somehow that tree that truck goes on is tagged, and then that truck will go to the sawmill, and that piece of lumber is sent back, and then the value added, all this stuff gets calculated through, and now it becomes like a fucking Resolute desk from some fucking tree, or fucking, you make MDMA out of the sassafras oil from a sassafras root, I think, from like Thailand or Laos or I don't know, fucking somewhere over there, jungle. I guess I'm kind of off topic and tangent. I guess there really is no topic here, but point is this: you have all of these things that can be stopped with perfect accounting records, such as a blockchain, and that's great. It does take computing power, and there are ways to simplify it and, you know, compress the data and all the other type of shit. But better computers, whatever. The issue I'm having is decentralization is definitely good. I definitely see that as a perfect way to go. Centralized things, no, not so much, because anything centralized enough is, well, if you're a single man business, right? I kind of am, sort of, and you're just not good at business or something, or you're a lawn service person. Let's just say that's an easy one to pick because I'm here among the weeds, the fucked up lawn, you know, the woods. Let's say you're like, you go and cut people's lawn, you cut it at different dimensions, like you can mess it all up. It's like high over here, low over there, all messed up. You chop up their plants, their flowers and shit on accident, don't say you're sorry, stuff like that. You're just not gonna get hired again. However, if you're a giant, massive corporation, you have all the workers that go out and cut the grass, and they do a great job, and then billing and the fucking corporation, through some fucking language in the fucking contract that you signed up, fucks you over for fucking too much money because you canceled because you moved or something, right? And you don't need the lawn service, something like that. That's where shit gets fucked up, right? And it kind of leads me to believe, like, you have all these natural local services in the city, right? You have natural stuff, cutting lawns, food, service, whatever it may be, local stuff. And that all makes sense. We need that. And you have all the derivative fucking stuff, right? Like, I'm not talking, you could build an entire city internally. You could have engineers in the city. You could have every fucking thing you need to build the giant skyscrapers from inside the city or inside the small town or whatever. They're all there. Or near there. The problem, I think, is when you start, we're still on? Yeah, good. Problem I have with that is the derivativeness. When you start taking banking and finance and all the other stuff, all the other stuff so far away from localities, and you have all these jobs that essentially just, finance, a lot of it is skimming off the top, essentially. Like, what do they really do? Banks, finance, the ones that really don't have the money but just loan it out, they don't really fucking have it, okay? If they had saved the money up or gotten people to give them the money in CDs and they can't take the money out and it's fucking one-to-one, totally get it, makes sense. But when you don't even have the money and you're fucking making money on nothing and you have all these people that just make a bunch of money to keep quiet because they don't really have any creativity, they don't really do anything. They're just kind of middlemen, but they make the most money doing literally nothing, and we don't need them. And there are so many industries like that where things are so far removed from localities. And while that's happening, there's so much like there's so much tax savings and so much things for the people that actually do stuff in the locality that could be cut out at the next highest levels and still get. I mean, think of it, we didn't even fucking have income tax until like 1913 or something, when they, the Beast of Jekyll Island hopped out and was like, oh, I'm gonna take all your money because I'm fake money and stuff. And then after 1964 or something, when Nixon took us off the Bretton Woods gold standard or whatever, but the money's based on nothing, and it's fractional reserve 10-1, so it's like money's not real. Nothing's fucking real, and it's super unfortunate because it extracts so much value from the real hardworking people, and I understand a little bit of liquidity, but with fintech and everything like that, liquidity problems, all that other stupid stuff that the bankers solve, they really create a lot of problems, I think, at this point. But they may have always done that. Maybe, whatever, maybe they don't. I don't care. Point is, with the liquidity, there's really no, in my opinion, thing that the people that are middlemen-ish do at this point. With the advancement of technologies, all the people at the bottom can just trade amongst themselves and don't need the people at the top. And I think that's how life was supposed to be. More localized. The extraction of value from the top of the pyramids all the way down is just it's not a winning fucking situation. Probably never will be. And with that, I would say I rest my case. But again, I'd rather talk to y'all about this, talk to somebody, have a real fucking coherent thought with somebody. But either I'm blocked by the government, or either I get a lot of responses that they block and I don't get none. I don't even fucking know at this point. If nobody sees my stuff, or if everybody sees it, or nobody, I don't fucking know. Or just a small minority of people, I don't fucking know. Either way, I'd love to debate some people on it. I mean, maybe I'm totally crazy and I'm just so far out there that nobody just wants to talk because they're like, man, that guy's, can't even talk to him, he's irrational. That makes sense. I mean, I'm so irrational, right?